So if you can see, my TV's on because I was actually about to do my daily yoga, but I got a call and the samples of the Pinoy deck came this morning. Just for reference, it's now May 29th and it's a Friday. And yeah, I just had an idea about like, testing this out. I completed the deck in March, but everything was put on hold. I have actual plans for the production of this, and I didn't really think about it because of lockdown. But yeah, I just had an idea last week and thought, you know what, why don't I just try? And it actually worked. So I talked to the delivery guys and they said that everything's running properly, and since I do live in a residential area, there aren't any glitches with regard to delivery. So yeah, I didn't think of unboxing this on video because I was just way too excited to open this up. And I messaged my friends Macy and Patty right away, and they told me, hey, do an unboxing. I'm like, oh no, I opened it already. But anyway, so I just had some samples done and I posted my mock-up of this, and here's the box. So I based the design on the Philippine flag. I don't know if that comes through, but I used my own palette for this. So there's pink, kind of a teal and yellow, and then like ox blood. So if you notice, there are like words in the box. So these are from, it's kind of off center, so I have to fix that. Yeah, these are from our national anthem, and there's a description of the box here and my name. All right, for the cards. So again, like disclaimer, this is a sample. I'm not sure if there are gonna be more tweaks done for the actual deck, but we'll see. It's just so exciting to hold this in my hands because I had like a printed out version, like tiny cards about this small on plain paper, and I was using that to test the deck out, and finally I have something I can shuffle. All right, so the box design is, this is the extra one, is the same as the card back. So these are completely reversible in case you do read reversals, which I don't. All right, I'm just gonna run through this very quickly. I'm not gonna go through all the cards because I do find that when I watch videos like that, I get very bored. And even if I'm excited about the deck, I get bored. And I do like the surprise of like unraveling a new deck and like seeing things for the first time. Anyway, Major Arcana. So if you see, I really stuck to a palette with this one. I wanted it quite earthy. So our majors are mostly in yellows. I did collage again, which is really my comfort zone when it comes to design and being creative. So what I did was I used actual magazines from late 70s. I sourced them. I went shopping around, and I knew that there was a vintage store somewhere in Cubao, and like a week before lockdown, I went right there, talked to the owner, and spent maybe an hour just poring over his stack and finding the magazines that I felt could work best. So you will see some familiar faces even though you weren't born in the 70s. I was born in 79, so a lot of these people are familiar to me. So these are the majors, and then I'll just go one by one. Okay, I have the wands, which are red. The fire element is strong in the wand, so I really wanted that to come through with the images. What can I say about the wands? This is one of the last suits. I worked on this suit by suit. With the original Practical Magic deck, I just like went willy-nilly with the cards. This one, I really worked more systematically because I guess I had more experience with making cards. So you'll see, we have the image here. I preferred to use the English for the actual names of the cards and the suits because, I don't know, as a Filipino, English is actually, I guess, my first language. At least where I grew up, that's how things went, and it just felt a little more natural to the tongue to use the English words. But I did place very small, nondescript keywords that are in Filipino, in Tagalog in particular. So that's my dialect from where I'm from. And yeah, so I wanted to make it so that an international audience doesn't get distracted by these words, but those who can understand and are local will be able to pick them up right away. I tried to keep them as contemporary as possible. So yeah, if you're familiar with the way we talk, then I guess that's gonna be fun for you. I did create a guide for this with both Filipino and English keywords. I tried to word the English phrases as closely as possible, but of course, it's never really the same. Filipino really has a different impact, especially if you're native, if you grew up here. Alright, so next is the cups. This was the first suit that I worked on, which oddly enough, the first card that I made, is the Three of Cups. And this was one of the first cards in the original deck that I made too. And this isn't on purpose, but I guess with the Three of Cups being a friendship card to me, it was just easy to spot spot images that would work. This is one of my favorites. So this is Gloria Diaz. And this is particularly important to me because it's significant because I did meet Gloria Diaz last year. So this time last year, I was on my way to a junket in Atlanta. We covered the filming of Insatiable, where Gloria Diaz was part of the cast. And I met her a year ago, and it's just amazing that I'm able to put her. I found her photo in the magazine and was able to put her in one of the cards. It's the Eight of Cups. Yeah, and she's very beautiful. So I love this card. One of my favorites. I think my favorites here would be the ones with her in it, actually. Alright. Moving forward, these are the swords. Swords are my least favorite suit. But it wasn't difficult to work with them. Oh, if you see the cups are a very bluish, watery color, since cups symbolize that element. We move on to swords, and I had a little bit of trouble here because the grays of the background are very similar to the blues. But I feel like this element of kind of like the conical element at the back does represent the swords a lot. I had fun with this because I think the swords are they can be very catty, and so the keywords were fun to come up with. Yeah, there we go. I like this because of I think the purples work well with the grays. So if you notice, I did put a bit of effort in the color palette of the original deck, but with this one it's a lot clearer and a lot more distinct, I would say. Pentacles. I think this was the last suit that I worked on, and this one I had a lot of trouble with because I could not get the background exactly the way I wanted. So I wanted the earth element to come through with pentacles. So I used like a desert background, but then I wanted the sky also. And my problem was like, the sky is blue, the cups are blue, the swords look kind of bluish. So I was like, oh my gosh, I wanted this to be distinctly earth. So I'm really hoping that the contrast between the desert brown, tan, yellow comes out with the blue skies. So yeah, I did a lot of edits for this, especially with the Ten of Cups. So this is Nora Honor and Christopher De Leon. In the late 70s, 80s, they were together. Yeah. So I had so much trouble with this card, and I do love the Ten of Pentacles, so I think I put some pressure on myself. My inspiration for this was this Frida Kahlo exhibit that I went to in the Botanical Gardens in New York a couple of years back, and they had like a really nice wall, sort of like an altar with just so many frames and candles, and I wanted to emulate that for the Ten of Pentacles, and it took so much time for me to get this and to get everything symmetrical, but yeah, I'm hoping this comes through, and I'm just like pissed off that I had to cut. Yeah, his head wasn't full, like the whole thing wasn't exposed in the magazine, but you know what you gonna do. The other Gloria Diaz card is in the Pentacles suit as well, and it's the Seven of Pentacles, which I don't like pulling, but maybe I'll appreciate it more since I do like this card, and I like the blend of colors that come up. Yeah, so I did intend to have the borders, to have very slight borders, but then you do see that it gets cut with the rounding, so I'm still not sure if I'm gonna tweak that a bit for the actual production, but I'm actually quite happy with the border situation going on here. But yeah, maybe a few edits will have to do. As an Aries, I hate having to revise and having to edit stuff. If you see my blogs or my captions, sometimes there are spelling errors there because I just want to post right away. This is a practice for me to, you know, get things right. Alright, so I love doing this, fanning decks out and just seeing the transition of colors, and it's wild how the wands really pops compared to all the other cards. But you know, yeah, as a fire sign, that's okay with me. I like that the wands kind of pop up. So yeah, thank you for yeah, paying attention to this video. I hope you're as excited as I am. I'm gonna be working over the next couple of days and weeks. Hopefully get this to you in time for I don't know, in time for, I'm not sure. A lot really hangs on the balance because of this deck, and yeah, we're moving towards the end of May. GCQ, the type of quarantine we're under, starts next week already, since June is coming in, and you know, I a lot of my plans for next month really were dependent on whether I could produce this deck or not. But now that it's finally with me, I'm able to move forward and yeah, get this to you. I hope, and yeah, just plan out my days a little better. Thanks for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for any updates. I don't know when I'm gonna be posting this, probably like when I actually launch this, so it's gonna be quite a flashback. But it was great to have my reactions recorded on video, since I didn't get to do that with the first deck. But yeah, so welcome to PM Pinoy, not just for Pinoys but for everyone. But yes, this deck is important to me because I'm Filipino, and you know, I think there's just so much attention being put on local talent right now. It felt like the right time to do something that's strongly linked with our culture, but I feel, you know, has international appeal too, since we are a melting pot over here. Okay, how many times am I gonna say bye? Thank you again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.